about socialization? Isn't that the big question a lot of people ask when they start homeschooling? Well, in this homeschooling video, we're going to be chatting about how to find a homeschool group for you and your family. So for me, for example, I would go onto Facebook and I would type in homeschool groups in Wollongong, because that is the area I live in. Now, if nothing pops up, don't worry, just type in the broader region around you, casting the net further, and see what comes up there. So that's my first method of how to find a homeschool group near you. Another method is you can just do an online search. Now, homeschool.com has links to a lot of good homeschool groups. You can check them out. They have the contact details, so if you're not on Facebook and you don't have a Facebook account, this can be a great option. I believe also the HSLDA, the Homeschool Legal Defence Organisation, they also have links to homeschool groups if you're not on Facebook. Okay, if you want to get offline completely, you can also go to your local church and ask the pastor to hook you up with other homeschool families in there. And that is because a lot of churches have many homeschool families in them. Our homeschool church has around 4 or 5 of these homeschool families. And so once you get the contact details of one of these families, then it's smooth sailing from then on in, because then you get to get the contacts from others as you ask each parent for other homeschool socialization opportunities you can seek. Let's chat about the benefits of having a homeschool group in the first place. Why should you even want to go and be a part of a homeschool group? Well, I think the biggest reason is socialization. You've probably heard the objection to homeschooling. Well, you shouldn't homeschool your children because they're not going to get socialized. Homeschool groups are a great fix for this issue, and they're a great way that you can get your children to hang out with other children their own age and learn the social norms and the culture around you. It's also a great way for your kids not to come up to you in the future and say, "Mum, I really wish that you'd spent more time socializing us." I don't see this in many homeschoolers I know who are grown up saying this to their parents, but I do definitely see it in some where the parents just haven't considered socialization to be an important issue. So that's your number one benefit. Your number two benefit is that you will also be encouraged by other homeschooling parents in the group who are going through similar issues to you. A lot of these can act as mentors depending on how advanced they are on their homeschooling journey. Perhaps if you're down here and you're just beginning and you join a homeschool group, then you can ask advice from parents who have already done a lot of homeschooling. Other parents in a homeschool group that you join will also be able to give you advice on different curriculum that they've used. A lot of the time there's some curriculum online and it's being reviewed, but the reviews, perhaps the reviewers have an agenda behind them and you're not sure what to think. Well, you will get a pretty impartial view of things in a homeschool group. Being in a homeschool group also means that you'll be able to get access to different activities that are occurring in the group at the time. For example, if such and such a family are going off to have a bit of a nature walk, you can join them if you want. Or if such and such has organised for there to be a homeschool discount at the local rock climbing centre, you can jump in on that deal. There are plenty of opportunities, and I advise you to get on board and take advantage of that. Now, if you're new to the homeschooling world, you may have heard the idea of a homeschool co-op. Well, you might be thinking, how is a homeschool co-op different from a homeschool group? Well, homeschool co-ops look fairly different depending on who is running it and how formal it is. Homeschool co-ops can be either really formal or informal. The formal ones might have schedules and teachers and other planned events that are going on, while the informal ones might just do things off the cuff. There were no homeschool groups in our area, so a couple of the mothers and I got together and we have made our own homeschool co-op. What this looks like is when we're ready to teach a lesson, we say to the other mums, "Hey, are you free on such and such a date? Are you free on Friday or Thursday, whatever the date is? Come over and we'll do a bit of nature study together." Or, "Hey, we're going to do a cardboard crafting session today, come on over." So in a way, homeschool co-ops are homeschool groups with an educational focus, and parents teach the lessons themselves. Of course, you can go and pay a teacher to come in and teach lessons in your more informal homeschool co-op, but then you're getting down the more formal road and you have to pay a teacher to do that, whereas if homeschool parents take on that teaching role themselves, I guess it's free. Now, what do you do if there are no homeschool families in your area? Well, don't worry, because this is a great opportunity for you to get involved in the community around you. Make sure you really grab the opportunity when there's a person who comes to visit the house or the farm. Make friends with the people down at the grocery store. Volunteer at the op shop with your children, and invite family members over all the time so the children get socialization opportunities that way. If you keep your eyes open as a homeschool parent, you will notice there are plenty of social opportunities around. We found lots of these were available in the sporting clubs around us and also the art club. And we got involved in loads of community groups around our area. We also knew pretty much every neighbor on the street. For us growing up, this was a great opportunity to share the good news of Jesus, and I really love that my parents have taught me that, and I can continue to share the good news of Jesus with everybody around me now as well. Now, if you're new to homeschooling, you may be thinking, I don't know much about this whole homeschooling gig. Then you'll want to check out my playlist over here on how to start homeschooling.